What is everyone's favorite Final Fantasy game? Top 3.
Top 3 for me is 4, 6, and Tactics.
Nice.
I know top 1 is always Final Fantasy VIII for me.
Yeah.
Second place I'd have to give to 4.
Hell yeah.
Third place,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of had to go Tactics on that one. I mean, it's always enjoyable, and I love just the strategy based for Final Fantasy.
I feel like Tactics has
Yeah, it was
the
more
most
of a-
replayability out of any Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just because of that job system.
And that's one I haven't played, unfortunately.
You really
I've got to
should,
get on
yeah.
that.
It's so good.
Yeah, I really should.
And it has an
For
amazing
me,
story.
I'd say number 1 would be 4 for me. Just because it was the first one that I played that I really felt connected to. I played it on the PS1, and it came in a compilation with Chrono Trigger. It was called Final Fantasy Chronicles.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Final Fantasy Chronicles.
And with Final Fantasy IV, there's so many different versions. I mean, it came out with Final Fantasy II originally on the Super Nintendo, and they dumbed that one down just because they thought that Americans or Western audiences didn't really know how to play RPGs, which wasn't really true because there'd been like Heroes of Might and Magic and Western style RPGs. It was just the first time that a Japanese role-playing game that had really come out with a big story. And for me, number 2 would probably be, I gotta go Final Fantasy VII, because that was my first PlayStation game.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Classic.
I think.
And number 3, maybe Final Fantasy 12, just because it was so different and so out there.
Oh, 12 was
At the time it was, yeah, and at the time it was, Final Fantasy was kind of stagnant in that Western RPGs were starting to take over with like Morrowind, Oblivion at the time.
Oh yeah.
And they went in a completely different direction, and they made it completely real time. The strategy of the battle was just so much different.
Yeah, I like how 12 it kind of feels like you're doing a single player MMO game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a perfect description.
That's how I always describe the gameplay of 12.
I do like the fact that they connected 12 to maybe not the first Tactics, but the rest of the Tactics series.
Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, all the Tactics.
Yeah.
Because someone has like a timeline. And Tactics is like hundreds of years after 12 is, or something like that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like they're all in Evilise.
Oh damn.
I have to give Final Fantasy 12 another playthrough just because I just got it on my Switch, and just I love getting games on my Switch just because of the portability. I can play it in bed. I mean, hell yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
And I haven't played it since it came out on PS2, which was 2006, I believe.
The only thing with 12 is like Vaughn's the most useless protagonist in the series.
Oh yeah.
He has no importance in the story.
Damn it,
Did you
Vaughn.
guys find that in the PS2 version of that game, it sounded like the recordings were like in a public bathroom or something? It was just so.
Oh really?
tinny
I actually don't remember
sounding.
anymore. I'd have to hear it again
Yeah.
someday.
They cleared it up in the most recent releases, which came out on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Yeah,
and
the
PC.
Zodiac Age, right?
Zodiac Age.
That
yeah.
one's really solid.
And,
They did a really good job with that.
They did, yeah.
I still
I
need to
got
play
it
it.
on the Switch for.
Oh yeah, you should do it.
Oh,
It's way
dude.
better because it's like actually a job system instead of everyone just does everything.
Oh. And shit, I was like reading about that, and there was a point in time I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna totally get it when it comes out, and then
Yeah.
it just never
Mhm.
happened.
It just didn't happen.
Like still to this day, I'm like, yeah, I need to go ahead and pick that up. And, yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd give an honorable mention to Final Fantasy X, just because it was one of the first games I played on my PS2, just like Final Fantasy VII was one of the first games I played on my PlayStation. And it was beautiful. It had every single character is voice acted. That was the first time in the series.
Oh yeah.
And it was really done well. Just the relationship between Titus, not Titus.
I say
which is
Titus.
what I used to say. I feel
Titties.
kind of weird saying Titus.
He just doesn't sound right to
Yeah,
me.
to this day. It doesn't sound right. Titus. It's just like, I don't know what it is about Titus, but I'd rather say Titus. But now that I know that it's supposed to be Titus, I can't say it any other way.
It's like I always felt it should be Titus.
Yeah.
Like, due to the fact that, okay, 7, you had Cloud, weather-based. Like, 8, Squall, weather-based.
Yeah.
Zidane, whatever you want to say.
Zidane.
I think they skipped the weather thing with him.
His name.
But, like, Titus, it just kind of goes with the weather base loosely. You know,
Like a tidal wave
Titus.
kind of
Like,
thing.
Yeah.
motherfucker
Tidal
swims
wave, yeah.
to play a sport, so...
In the
Like,
goddamn tides.
And there should be a standalone Blitzball game, don't you think?
I'm surprised
that
there
was
isn't,
pretty
honestly,
enjoyable.
now that you mention it.
Oh, yeah.
10, yeah.
They even did, for 7, they did like a standalone motorcycle game, so why not Blitzball?
oh, that's right, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
And just
shit.
the relationship between Titus and Yuna as she accompanied him on a quest to destroy Sin, and spoiler alert, his father, was just, I don't know, just done so well.
Yeah.
I thought to me it was a better love story than Squall and Renoa.
It was.
And I may catch some flack for that.
No, I think those two probably are like the most prominent love stories in all the games.
Hmm.
Or like the most focused on.
I really love the depth of the sphere grid as well. I mean, so many choices that essentially allowed you to rework a character's intended class.
And now
yeah.
there's an expert sphere grid too, in the HD version.
Mm-hmm.
Which I want
Yeah.
to try that when I play 10 again. It's supposed to like make it even more customizable, I guess.
Now, when it comes to Final Fantasy games you haven't played, which one have you not played but should?
For me, it's pretty much just spin-offs and 11, but I'm not going to play 11 at this point.
Yeah, because 11 came out in like 2000.
Yeah, unless they come up with like a non-MMO version of 11, I'm never going to play that one.
I can't get into MMOs. MMOs are kind of like these fun, fair kind of versions of games that don't really jive well
That's
with
fair.
me.
It's a never-ending grind on MMOs.
Oh god, it really is.
It takes me out of the game when I see a bunch of other people doing the exact same thing, and I'm like, hey, aren't I supposed to be the hero?
Yeah.
Isn't this supposed to be like, yeah.
That's something that's funny. Like, oh yeah, you're the warrior of light, you're the chosen one, and then you're standing around with 10 other people of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, you see
Like, wait a
10 other
minute,
people,
what's happening?
10 other people like in front of the character that you're speaking to, who's giving you the quest to go, do the big thing, and it just kind of takes you out of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. That is a good point. That's something I noticed when I was playing 14 before. It's like, wait, I thought I was the guy here, not all these other people.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, not to mention with Final Fantasy 14, there's a monthly sub. So
Oh, yeah,
it's just
there
Oh
is.
yeah.
I can't commit to a game to the point where I'm playing monthly for a fee just to play.
Yeah,
the
that's the
game.
other thing with MMOs is the monthly thing.
It's like when I had the time for it, like I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see an issue with the. I think I went ahead and did like the $15 a month one just so I could have multiple characters, even though I never used it. But like at that time, I had the time for it. Like I was playing it a fair amount, so I felt like I got the worth out of it. But like I haven't had it for I don't know, year and a half, 2 years now. Mainly just because I don't have that time to stick with the daily grind and like commit to it to a certain degree to make it worthwhile anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And that to me kind of parallels my experience with Destiny 2.
Oh, yeah.
My two best friends in real life, they play Destiny 2 on Xbox Series X, and that's why I have an Xbox. Otherwise, I'd have a PlayStation 5 or PS4. And I just can't put in the amount of hours that it takes to really get the most out of the game.
That's true.
The good thing I think I've heard with 14 at least. The good thing is that they designed it in a way you can still enjoy it if you don't have a ton of time to put into it.
Mhm.
That is true.
In one way or another. I don't know the exact details though.
I'd say the one Final Fantasy game that I haven't played that I really have to play is Final Fantasy IX, because it looks like it's a throwback experience to the earlier days with the super
Yes.
deformed characters.
Oh yeah.
Despite the fact that it came out at the end of the PS1's life cycle, it looks like an awesome throwback, and the world of Gaia just looks really interesting to me, in that it's like the medieval vibe seen in the early entries.
Yeah.
It's,
9 is like literally a love letter to the games before it.
yes.
Mhm.
So there's like so many Easter eggs from 1 through 8 throughout the game.
Yeah.
That's actually one I need to replay
Me too.
sometime soon.
Like when I was
And I want
when I played 9, I was kind of rushing through it because I was trying to beat it before the new Dissidia game came out,
Oh yeah.
just so I could like know
Ooh,
who Zidane
yeah.
and Kuja were.
right on. So for me, Final Fantasy IV is one I have to replay because I haven't played it since it came out on the PS1. But now it's like, okay, what do I play it? Which version do I play? Do I play the original Super Nintendo version? Do I play the Game Boy Advance version? Do I play the one that came out on DS, which was in 3D? I think that's the route I'm going to take.
Yeah, that's what's cool about 4 is like each release is actually a different version, not just a visual upgrade.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
It's like you're actually almost playing a different game, especially with the 3D version.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'll say the 3D version, the story is expanded a little bit, and it's
Mhm.
also harder than the. It's like closer to the original Japanese difficulty.
Yeah, which is, I think that's the route they took in the PS1 version.
Yeah.
They had the original difficulty of the Japanese version. How was the Final Fantasy VII remake? Since I'm an Xbox guy, I haven't been able to play the PS4 Final Fantasy
Oh.
VII remake, which is unfortunate. I'm looking forward to playing that because I'm getting a PS5 soon-ish whenever they restock.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're lucky too, there
knock on wood.
you're listening to PC at some point.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
waiting
It was
on.
only
I believe
it's only exclusive for about a year. So then,
Yeah, and that's coming up
yeah, that's coming up soon.
in a few months, I think.
Yeah, because it
But
came out
yeah,
early last year, right?
yeah, it was like March or something like that, I think, last year.
Yeah. So not too much longer.
I would say the 7 remake's really good. The combat's really fun.
How did you guys like the voice acting in 7 remake?
I liked all the voices except for one. I don't know
Mhm.
how much into spoilers we want to get to.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it was
Oh.
to say whose voice it is.
Yeah,
I'd
this
say go
would
for
be
it.
a big spoiler.
Yeah,
Oh,
like one of the
okay.
biggest spoilers in
Maybe I'll
remake.
leave it then. Okay. I'll oh, that's what people are talking about, but that's probably what my friend was talking about, where he said he was really upset about something but didn't want to tell me because it would be a big spoiler. Okay. All right.
Well, there's also like, if you're a purist to the 7 story, you're probably not going to like the remake story because it does go a bit off the rails at one point.
Oh. Another one I've never really gotten into is Final Fantasy V, which saw its first release on the PS1 in a Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VI compilation disc. I believe it was Final Fantasy
I think it was Anthology, right?
Anthology. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what it was called. And that one was the first one that had a job system.
But three had one first, but it didn't come out in the US till later.
Yeah.
Yeah, until it came out on the DS, I
Yeah.
believe, in like 2000.
And even then, 5 did a way better job at it than 3 did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Final Fantasy V, the 3D version, also came out on the DS, which is something I should get on with an
Oh,
emulator.
you're saying 3, right?
Yeah. 3.
You can get it on Steam actually if you want.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I saw
that's what I played it on and
mixed up
finally
with
beat it.
Final Fantasy V. Oh, nice.
That was my 3 is my least favorite one. It actually took me like 4 tries to actually beat the game.
Most people, when they're asked what's your least favorite Final Fantasy, a lot of people say 2, and that's not to say number 4.
Yeah, they mean
We're
actual
talking about
2,
the actual
yeah.
number 2, which was, I believe, the first one that had actual characters, because the first
It was, yeah.
Final Fantasy was just like fighter, thief,
Right.
mage. It was basically character classes.
I
Right.
think
So yeah, 2 they had actual characters.
I
Most people
may
hate that because of the
Mhm.
leveling system.
I may like
Yeah.
get them confused a bit because I know what was released here is different than like the order for the Japanese, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because like 2 was
Yeah, because 2
4,
was
3
4.
was
He was
6.
4.
Yeah, and then they just hopped to 7 and said fuck it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, 2 and 3 were on the Famicom, which was the Japanese version of the original Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh.
And they didn't come out until much later. I believe the first version of Final Fantasy II came out on Final Fantasy. It wasn't called Anthology, but it was like
Which
a
one?
1 and 2
Oh,
compilation.
I think it was
number
Origins.
Origins, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they gave it like brand new sprites. They gave it CGI cutscenes as well. And they cleaned it up. But a lot of people say that's their least favorite Final Fantasy for whatever reason. That's one I haven't
I think
played.
the main reason is because of the way you level in 2. That's why most people
Yeah.
don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Because it's like in 2 there's not actual levels.
Mhm.
You level up your stats based on what you do in battles. So like if you're doing attack a lot, that's how you get your strength up. To raise your health, you have to get hit a lot. It's just stuff like that.
And that just sounds completely backwards to me. It kind of reminds me of if you guys have ever played Morrowind. One way to get your jumping up is to just jump a lot.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
basically Final Fantasy 2. Yeah.
And that's straight out of Final Fantasy.
And on top of that, every spell has their own leveling too, up to level 16. So you have to keep spamming the spell to level it up.
God, it's been so long since
Wow.
I played that. Like, I'm hearing you both say like all this about it, and then it's coming back to me like a flash of PTSD. Like, fuck no.
It's all coming back to you now.
And Final Fantasy 2, they loved killing their characters too. in
Oh
that
yeah.
one.
So, Final Fantasy 13 is probably my least favorite Final Fantasy, I'd say.
That's fair.
Just because it was just like one giant long hallway.
Yeah.
At least for the first
agree.
20 or 25 hours. There weren't any villages, there weren't any I mean, there are shops, but not really in the traditional
it was
sense.
linear, a lot more linear than the other games usually are.
Now-
None of the characters really. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, we gotta bring some light to one of the theories that pretty much everyone follows, is that the first Final Fantasy that you play is your favorite. I can say for me,
that would be.
it's false.
What was the
Yeah,
first one you
For
played?
me, it's false as well.
First one I played was Final Fantasy 2, but technically 4.
Right.
That was the first one I played, and then I went into Final Fantasy 1, then 3, and then I think I jumped and played Tactics, then 7, then 8. But fuck, ever since I've played 8, like that's held number 1 since.
Right.
And I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. Final Fantasy VIII was one of my least favorite ones.
You bastard,
because
you
I
get out
didn't
right
really
now.
That's it. We're ending. We're done.
I know.
I'm editing
For
that
me,
out.
For me, the junction system didn't really hit home for me in that I didn't really understand how it worked. And when I played it in 1999, I was like 8 years old, so I just didn't really grasp how the junction system worked. And I wasn't really interested in a love story, and I didn't really believe that it was a love story that had any sort of feeling for me. But I'd have to play it again, because I wonder if I'd feel that way about it now.
Yeah, I think the junction system was, I guess, like one of the biggest gripes a lot of people had with it.
Mhm.
It's what makes or breaks it for a lot of people.
Yeah, and it was always like one end of the spectrum or the other. It was either like the system felt too complicated, or like it's just broken, essentially. Like you can manipulate the shit out of it.
Complicated or easily abused.
Yeah.
Which is true. You could break the shit out of the game if you know what you're doing with that.
That is very true. Like, you get the right amount of spells that you're not gonna touch, like, you're golden. You can break the fuck out of it.
Stats immune to everything.
But
it had an increased emphasis on summoning.
What about something?
Did you not like the summon?
There's a really big emphasis.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it just like just seeing it over and over. I was just like, "Come on, hurry up and finish."
I think the only one I kind of felt that after a while was Eden, just because it was the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eden was pretty long. I mean,
I was a big fan of the
one
game,
super
though.
long summon, though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think.
Well, mostly just that one and Knights of the Round.
Oh yeah, God, Knights of the
But
Round.
I will say
Jesus.
Yeah, going back in Final Fantasy VII.
You got 3 hours to kill. Go ahead and summon Knights of the Round. Like,
Yeah. You need a drink? Go ahead and summon Knights of the Round real quick. And then walk over.
Exactly. But I will say that Final Fantasy VIII still looks really nice. The remastered version looks great. If you go back and try to play the original Final Fantasy VII, you'll be like, why does everyone's hands look like that? They look like they're Mega Man with like
hilarious.
cannon arms.
Yeah. Well, the thing with 8's remaster is they only remastered the character models, not the background.
Not
so
the
it makes the
backgrounds,
backgrounds look so much worse now.
oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, I remember there was like one bug, kind of a bug. There's one part early on in the game where they forgot to remaster Sid, so he blends it in the background and he just looks awful.
Oh my God. And I didn't even notice that when I was playing through for the first time, or even when I did it on stream. I didn't notice it at all until I think you pointed it out.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, I think I told you, right?
Yeah, and then I went back and I was like, oh my God, you're right.
Like, he looks fucking horrible.
At least this time around, Squall really is the most handsome guy at the ball.
Yeah, it's true. But I love how they did that, but they still kept the animation of him like putting the champagne in his nose when he's drinking.
Oh yeah.
Just makes that look funnier now. It's like in HD.
I mean, you guys don't drink champagne through your nose?
Normally I don't.
I try
guess
not
must
to.
be doing it wrong. This is why I don't drink.
But yeah, Final Fantasy VIII is just a very complex game, and I just didn't fully grasp it at the time that I played it.
I'll say give it another shot. I might like it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, take it from the guy that has completed it 16 times now. Like
16 times. Wow, you're keeping track.
Oh yeah. I think it was 12 or 13 playthroughs on original, and then I did the last fuck math 3 or 4 times with the remaster.
You're the very epitome of a completionist, because I've seen some of your achievements on Steam, and I think one of them was getting an S ranking in Resident Evil 3 remake. Meanwhile, I got a C. That's in my second playthrough.
Oh hell, I had to. Like, normally with Resident Evil, it's kind of like a, I'll play it, like, check the story out. Like, I'm not really gonna do much. But I had one of our friends, Crucifix, on Twitch. Like, he loved it, and he just kept pushing it. And he was like, "No, you got to do this. You got to get it." Like, I can't, man. I'm not that good.
2 hours.
Yeah, that's usually what Resident Evil games.
like.
Just play through them, see the story and all that, and then usually done with them after that.
Yeah.
I love the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes. Those are so good. 3 could have been better in that they cut out a lot of content from the original game.
Yeah.
was disappointed in that.
Yeah, and the branching pathways weren't there anymore, unfortunately.
Right, and
But
they added
I
no
still had
extra
fun
modes
with it.
either.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, they came with Resistance, which I still haven't played.
Yeah.
Wink, wink,
We
nudge,
played it for a
nudge.
bit.
Shit, we haven't played that in God
In a minute.
forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely been a long time since we played Resistance.
I say we need to get
yeah, I saw that you.
we need to have two brothers play with WilderChris and Zach.
There we go.
Yeah,
That could work.
Zach. Yeah, that's actually how I saw that you guys are playing that game together, because he shared a video, I think, on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Of you, Casey, Allison,
Yeah.
and Kane playing that game. So I want to get in on that.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, we lost every single game, but it was
Oh
fun.
yeah. Like
Because
I
it's
think
so unfair
Zach-
towards the survivors.
we only like made it out like once.
One time,
Ooh,
it's because like the guy was basically letting us win.
Yeah, like he wasn't doing anything.
Oh.
No spawning enemies, no locking doors, no nothing. But every
Was this a
other mastermind
random
we
guy?
played against, it was just a massacre. Like,
wow.
There's some like we couldn't even get out of the first room because we just kept getting our asses kicked.
oh yeah,
Oh,
it was
wow.
horrible. I can only
like-
imagine now it might be hard to play it unless we have a full team of 5. Just because, like, maybe there's
Right.
not a lot of people playing it anymore.
Yeah, because even when we were playing it, it was kind of hard to find people sometimes.
Oh yeah, and
Right.
that was like when it was still kind of fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
I've got it on Xbox and PC, and I couldn't find anyone on Xbox.
Oh wow. Yeah, I remember one day
So-
when we were playing it, we kept getting like the same 3 mastermind over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they were just massacring you guys, eh?
Basically.
Oh yeah. We would end a match, be like, good God, I hope we don't get them again. And then finally 5 minutes later, we get into a match, and it's that guy, and we're like, God damn it! Like,
Oh, God.
It's like, son of a bitch, now we're gonna lose again.
What games have you guys been playing lately together?
Phasmophobia and The Forest were the last group we played,
Oh.
basically.
yeah.
Phasmophobia looks really fun, especially with like the voice commands. Ghost, are you here? Or whatever.
Oh,
Say
yeah.
the guy's name 3 times. There's this one streamer named Avi that me and Zach know each other through. And she has all of these challenges, basically. So you can donate bits towards a certain challenge, like saying the ghost name 3 times and stuff like
nice.
that.
That's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we tried playing it, we couldn't get past the tutorial.
Hmm.
We had
Yeah.
to give up on the tutorial.
Yeah, when we like first kicked into it, we were all going through the tutorial, and I think we were struggling, because we didn't
Mhm.
quite understand it. So
Yeah.
we're all sitting in like the ghost room, trying like the book, like whatever else, get them to do something, and nothing was happening. And then I think Kane just randomly went, "Oh, you can exit the tutorial, and we
Yeah,
can play the
I like-
game."
Because
Oh.
it made it seem like if you didn't exit, you couldn't get it. You couldn't get to the actual game. And I just
Oh,
kind of
wow.
said fucking left the
Oh.
game. I was like, oh wait, guys, we can play the normal game now. It's like just give up and let's get in here.
Oh, that was good times.
Yeah,
I still don't know how to play Town of Salem. I played it with you
I don't
guys
either.
at one time.
that was the
And
only
I
time
had
we played
no
it.
clue
Was that
going
time
on.
you played with us?
Oh.
Yeah,
We haven't played since then. Yeah,
and we still don't understand it. Like,
I was starting to understand it when we stopped that day. I was
Oh,
starting to, and then I probably forgot everything now at this point.
hey,
Yeah.
I've repressed it
think-
like a bad memory.
I just remember I bought
think-
the Beelzebub skin.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
And I
Yeah.
whispered somebody, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Allie. And she immediately was like, "He's the killer. He whispered me."
I think I remember
I was like,
that.
"What?" And I was like, "What?" I was just like poking fun at her or something.
What the hell?
And immediately with the accusation.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Shit, that's how it is. When we did Among Us.
Yeah.
Like,
That's one I really have to pick up. Because
learned
every one of my friends is playing it.
like I learned Zach's tells in that one. Which I don't know if he corrected him at this point, but at that time, it was if he gets accused and he starts doing this like weird giggle kind of thing, and he's like, "It's not me," like it's definitely him.
Oh.
But if he's completely cool as a cucumber, straight faced, like not a break in his voice after he's accused, he's innocent.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's funny.
That is funny. And it looks like the type of game that just is so fun playing with other people.
It could be.
oh yeah.
It can definitely get hectic, but it is fun.
Yeah.
It gets super hectic.
How do you guys... Yeah, I can imagine. I've seen a lot of streams, and it just looks like you have to be a great liar in that game. And unfortunately, I'm a terrible liar. So I'm not really sure how I do in it.
Right.
So how do you guys feel about Final Fantasy 15? That's one of my to-do lists, two playlists, and I've just never gotten around to
I'm
playing
actually
it.
playing 15 right now.
Mhm.
How are you?
Yeah.
Are you playing it on stream?
I've been streaming it.
Nice.
I beat the...
I should come in.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Nice, I should come in and watch some of your
Oh, yeah,
playthroughs.
sure.
Don't
I
forget
beat
to
the
check out
story.
Kane Highway 27 on Twitch.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
But yeah, I actually just beat the story on it. And doing all the going through the DLCs now, and then gonna go through post game stuff.
Have you played the co-op campaign?
Me and Leon are kind of working on that right now.
Oh yeah, we need.
Okay. That's something I...
Need to get back to that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot all about it last night. That was my bad.
Yeah, I kind of did too. Well, I was like kind of distracted, and then forgot.
Same.
That's fine.
So it's like an open world road trip action RPG that just like four bros
Yeah,
just go on.
15
the road.
is the ultimate bromance. That's basically what 15 is. It's like they don't get super deep into the main story. So it is, the main story is kind of lacking, but they do the four main characters and like their relationships with each other really well. So like you feel for all four of them throughout the game. Even if you're like, what the fuck is actually happening in this story? Why is this happening?
Like I really liked it, but I need to replay it at some point. 'Cause I played. Oh no, shit! I only played it once. I was gonna say I thought I played it
Where does the battle
twice.
system rank?
Oh,
Battle system?
Compared to say Final Fantasy 12, yeah. Is it real time? Is it turn based?
15?
Is it a combination of the two?
15? Or...
Yeah, 15.
It's real time. It's kind of it's kind of similar to like a Kingdom Hearts game if you played that.
Right, yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 is one I have on my Xbox, but I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet.
That's the only one I will not play because I heard there's no Final Fantasy characters in it.
I think the DLC fixes that.
Oh, does it?
I think.
Well, if it does, I
Don't
might
quote
think
me on
about
that,
it.
'cause I don't keep track of Kingdom Hearts 3 that much because I haven't played that series yet. Or I haven't gone back into that
Kingdom
series
Hearts.
yet.
It probably has the most confusing progression of, like, what do I play first? Do I play Kingdom Hearts 1.5 or 2.5 or 2.8 or 3?
Yeah.
Like, where do I go?
I'm going to need like a whole chart to when I go through the series to know what to play.
And the shame of it is that they have a Kingdom Hearts game on Game Boy Advance, and they have one on PlayStation 2, then they have one on a whole bunch of different systems, so it's hard to really play them in order.
Yeah, I think the worst part is that the story is designed that you have to play those to actually understand the story.
Yeah, and that to me, it's just like, how do I do that? I've got to emulate pretty much all of these different consoles just to see the entirety of the story.
Yeah, that was like a huge turnoff for me as far as the story goes. It's like it's supposed to be a trilogy. You're not supposed to have to play 10 other games to understand the trilogy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
Reasons. Money.
Money. Fuck you, money.
Money.
Money, 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 money. So
Yeah. But I would say 15's worth a shot. If you can get the Royal Edition, it definitely makes it a lot better.
oh yeah, I think that was actually the
Royal
version I
Edition
played.
is on. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that adds a lot more to the story, and a lot more to the gameplay as well. And
Okay.
then if you play the DLC episodes, that gives you some more story as well, filling in some of the gaps in the story.
I'll
No.
give it a go for sure. I mean, I bought it. I might as well.
Yeah, there you go. You bought it. Yeah, go for it then.
Now I gotta ask the question.
Yeah.
Who would be who? God, can I English? Who
No worries, man.
is your favorite main protagonist in the Final Fantasy series from the games that you've played, and why?
Ooh, that would be tough for me. I'd say I'm gonna catch some flack for this, but I like Tidus. I love his character arc. I love the fact that he goes from like this cocky little kid who basically gets everything handed to him on a platter into what he becomes towards the end of the game. I don't really want to give it away, but Tidus and Yuna's love story was just, to me, it touched me. They're adorable. The narrative that's told through Tidus's, I said Titus there. Tidus's perspective is more. It's more focused than other Final Fantasy storylines. Sure, it's corny at times. That whole ha 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 thing. I think in context,
that's actually like a really nice scene.
Yeah,
it is a nice scene. I mean, you take it out of context, and you just have them going ha ha ha. I mean,
Fantasy memes there is.
yeah.
Yes, I mean that in itself is a meme. People who've never played a Final Fantasy game know all about that meme. But in context, it's a really sweet scene.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if they made a trailer.
It's
like I want them to, like, if they just made a trailer for the game, like when it first came out, and they're throwing in like flashy bits to the story and leave you like, oh my god, like what's happening here? But right in the middle, they just put the ha 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 ha. Like, I'm sure at least 50% of people would be like,
they put
what?
something like coming for the laughs.
Yeah.
That scene alone just like turns so many people off of the game, and it's a shame because it's a great game otherwise.
Because it's actually a really nice scene in context, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Just don't take it out of context.
What about you guys? What are your favorite main characters from Final Fantasy?
Does Crisis Core count?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Zack.
Zack.
Zack, yeah.
I can feel that.
He has awesome story. I like his personality a lot. He's like really uplifting guy, and he has a really tragic story.
Oh yeah.
And that's when he was amazing because he was kind of a big character in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, he only appears for like 30 seconds in the original game, just for that one flashback.
Oh yeah, it's true. It was just the one flashback, wasn't it?
Pretty much. Or I forgot if they show the whole Niflheim thing with Zack too. But even then, that's not much more.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, like you see his whole story, him trying to become a hero, and then beating Aaron and all that.
And it's just one where it's, yet again, no spoilers, but it's not your typical hero story.
Right. That's like what he aspires to be, but that's not how it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know I'm gonna catch flack.
I can guess who yours is.
Oh yeah, you already know. So for me, it is definitely Squall from 8, and like I can explain my reasoning, like to a great depth. Like most people, they just see him as like this emo character, like just nothing good. But I partially blame like any other game that includes him. Like that's the only thing that they show. But playing through 8, like his character arc from how he starts, like closed off, not wanting anyone close, like it leaves you wondering at first like why he's like that. But over the course of the game, you learn like his reasonings
Why he's
behind
like
that.
that.
You know,
Mhm.
because he's been abandoned and like he's let people close that have let him down or left him behind, and he
Yeah.
just doesn't want to face that hurt again. But
Yeah, he's scared of getting
Mm.
hurt.
yeah, and it's like over the course of the game, he slowly opens himself back up to like the party that he's traveling with or other people that he's interacting with. So by the end of it all, like his character arc is really good, and he's a changed character from how he was at the beginning.
Exactly.
I just don't see why they always portray him as beginning of 8 Squall.
Yeah, as emo boy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's
I think
what I remember about him. I just remember the dialogue where it's just like ... whatever when he responds
Yeah.
to someone.
oh yeah.
yeah, he's being told
And
he doesn't
that's
want to get
towards the
anyway.
beginning of the game. Yeah. And that kind of is what Squall is to me in my mind, even though I haven't played it in a long time. That's what stuck out to me just because it was in the very beginning of the game where he was
Right.
he and Safer. Is it Safer or
I say
Safer?
Cypher.
Cypher,
Cypher.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I've
it's
been
like
saying Safer all the
I mean, that could be right too. I don't even know.
but it's like I can relate to him on that
Mhm.
because like okay, like growing up, like everything was, pretty much normal for me. Like I had friends and whatnot. It wasn't until I think like later years in middle school I started to like really experience like the fake people and didn't realize how surrounded I had gotten by it like throughout like the ending years of middle school, like into high school and all through that. Like, just people pretending to be your friend and like supportive and whatnot, but just like the constant shit talking behind your back. So that's eventually like what I turned into really was just like kind of brushing people off. Like anyone new comes in, like even to this day, I'm very skeptical on new people. Like,
Yep.
I have to see like proven actions that like you are who you are. And other than that, I'm pretty much like Squall in that regard. Either saying whatever, at least in my head, to them, or like, if they're trying to pry more information from me, it just turns into none of your business. Like,
Yeah, I relate to Squall
To
too,
say that-
for some of the same reasons.
yeah.
Okay. To say that Final Fantasy VIII is a divisive game would be an understatement.
Yeah, 8 and
definitely.
13 are very divisive.
Mm.
I would say one thing I like about Squall too a lot is that you actually get to see his thoughts throughout the game.
Oh yeah.
Like see what he's thinking and how he's reacting to everything throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Like, you don't get anybody else.
And it's like he's not always like even in the earlier portions of the game, he's not always like brush everyone off, wants to be alone. Like he does care for people and want to protect them.
Yeah, he's not a complete asshole, except for that first scene.
Oh yeah, I mean
He's kind of an asshole in that one. You can't really defend that.
a little bit, yeah. Like yeah, I can agree with that one.
To this day, it still has a cool love story, a really good soundtrack, and it's aged really well in terms of what it looks like. I mean, even though the remastered version has remastered characters, but not the backgrounds still look great to me. I find that pre-rendered backgrounds, they've aged well, despite the fact that they're lower resolution than, say, the character models.
Yeah, that's true.
No, yeah, true. But it's like, I don't know. They could have done
Not so much
better. Because
they're all proportional as well. The characters, they're not like, they don't have a giant head. They don't have arms that look like
I think
mittens.
8 is one of the more realistic character models.
8 is one of the
to this
more
day.
like realistic settings, really,
That's true.
when you think about it.
Yeah, it's like 8 and 15 are probably the most realistic ones.
Yeah, because like I don't like 7, or I really believe 8 is the only one minus 12 where like the characters didn't have just like this superhuman jump like portrayed in the game. And like all these crazy actions, like fighting in the sky, that kind of
anime
thing.
characters.
Yeah. And like I think that's one of the things that drew me to 8 was just how that setting was, because it was very like militaristic in a sense.
Yeah,
even some of the music is militaristic.
Oh yeah. God, the landing
it
still
is.
is by far one of the best soundtracks of all time.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, just like that whole thing, because even in like 7 and like the earlier, like granted, like in the older Final Fantasies, like they couldn't really portray it with, you know, their 8-bit characters and shit, but you still had characters like Kane or, you know, the other Dragoons that could leap like 18 miles into the fucking sky and then come down on you. Like 7, you had characters making like large ass jumps, like to begin with, in the first place.
Was that fall that Cloud survives? It's like a 30-foot fall to Aerith's church.
That motherfucker dropped like 50 miles and survived.
and he just lives.
Yeah, he's like, oh, the flowers broke my fall.
I landed on a few flowers. I'm okay now. Like, what?
I'm being reminded of the choice you have in Final Fantasy VII when you fall through the church. When Aerith is like, "Do you remember me, Cloud?" And you have the option to say, "Yeah, you're the town drunk."
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you're that town drunk.
Or you can say,
"You're the drunk girl, right?"
Yeah, that to me blew me away when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
Because I chose that all the time. I always chose town drunk.
Just for the hell of it.
Of course, you got all the things of that. Yeah.
I mean, shit. For being funny, I would too.
Now, Alright, what would be your favorite, we'll say, favorite summon out of the Final Fantasy series? And then, I guess, what would be your favorite summon system?
Okay. Give me a bit here.
And by summon system, I mean like how you have the Guardian Forces in 8, or Materia in 7, Espers in 6. Like,
yeah,
I would say Bahamut from Final Fantasy X, because he just basically comes crashing down through the heavens, the lands. He crosses his arms. He's just a pure badass in that sense.
That is one of my favorite Bahamuts.
Feel it. Yeah.
He just sits there like, I don't give
Shiva.
a shit.
Shiva was pretty badass too, from Final Fantasy X.
There's one thing I noticed, like, speaking of Shiva, when I was playing 15, she was an asshole to Noctis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you summon Shiva in 15, she's like literally freezing him to death as the summon animation's going.
Yeah, it was pretty
That's
badass.
the shit.
Like all the other summons, they just, you know, lift him up and chill there. But no, Shiva's freezing him to death as it's going. Like, damn, poor Noct. But yeah, my favorite summon is definitely Bahamut too.
Damn, I'm outclassed.
And I don't know, system it might be 10, just because like they're playable characters for you. Like you actually summon them and play as the summons.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah.
Which is really cool.
What about your summon system, Zach? I don't think you mentioned.
Oh yeah, no you didn't.
Summon system, I'd have to go.
And also, just to throw it out there, it includes like games that have a dedicated summoner. So, like the
Mhm.
Tactics series, or what was it, 4 with
Yeah.
Rydia.
Right, it's any game
Um,
that you can summon, like the summons.
Yeah.
in terms of the best summon system, I'd say Final Fantasy VIII is actually up there, even though I don't like it as a game in terms of how the story went. You get the GFs. You just learn all the good abilities and delete the rest.
Oh yeah. That was another one of the game-breaking aspects of 8.
The
Yeah.
the abilities you can learn and disable and all that.
Mhm.
Because you learn the correct abilities to, like, create items from cards or magic or whatever else. Like, you
Right.
can become pretty OP, like,
Yeah.
towards the beginning.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you could literally just stand still and make yourself rich and make all the materials for
Oh,
ultimate
yeah.
weapons and shit like that once you get far
Mhm.
enough.
In terms of my least favorite summoning system, Final Fantasy 12, even though I love it as a game, it probably has my least favorite summoning system because they basically remove the party members from battle.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
just becomes like a second party member for you for a little bit that you can't control.
Mhm.
I think
At least in the Zodiac Age, you can mess with its gambits a little bit. I think.
Mhm.
for me, favorite summon would have to be Shiva.
Mhm.
Just due to the, I don't know, I like the whole ice aspect. Like, most people are like, oh, fire is cool, like, Ifrit all the way. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
It's,
Ifrit. He's my second favorite.
it's like, I always like just seeing different ice elementals come into play.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, that one particular scene at the end of Disc 1 or 8 is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
But as far as system goes, or actually, let me, I guess, whatchamacallit, fine tune on that. I really like 8's, Shiva. I like most of 8's summons in general, just because they stick with
Yeah.
a more beastly aspect to them.
Yeah.
But as a summon system as a whole, I don't know, I'm kind
For
of
me,
fond of 4. Like, I just like the idea of having a dedicated summoner, like, making that power unique.
That's true. I like that too.
And Kane was saying that Final Fantasy X is his. That would be my runner-up, in that you could summon who you wanted, when you wanted. Each summon had their own moves, their own overdrives.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be my runner-up for favorite summoning
Now,
system.
like in 4, that was like I think that was the first game where the summons were actually a pretty decent part of the
Actually a
story
thing.
too.
Yeah.
I gotta give a runner-up, though, to 15.
Yeah.
Just due to the
really?
fact that those summons are, like, on a whole nother scale.
Like jaw dropping.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, any other Final Fantasy, you cast the summon, and the Aeon, Esper, whatever you want to call them,
Mhm.
they're not really that much bigger than the player.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like you're just summoning some dude.
Yeah. But
I
like
didn't know that.
15, they are massive, like on an
You're literally
impressive scale.
Yeah, you're summoning a god, literally.
Yeah, like first time
Oh,
I
wow.
summoned Ramuh in 15, I was like, good God. Because it's just this giant old dude appearing in the sky, and you're like, God? And then he just throws his shit down and decimates the area.
Smites the shit out of everybody.
Yeah. It's still a great looking game.
Oh, yeah.
I was blown away when I first saw Final Fantasy 15. I was just like, wow, I want to play that immediately.
Oh,
I
God, yeah.
remember when I played the demo, the very first time I summoned him, that like literally my jaw just dropped to see that animation.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that was amazing.
That shit was so fucking impressive. But
it was like a changing moment.
I do have to say, I don't think they did the best version of Bahamut by far.
No, that was like the worst version of Bahamut.
Yeah, that.
He's not a dragon, and he's a fucking asshole. If you like look in the extended story.
Yeah, I can't get behind Bahamut in that one.
Yeah. Like it is a cool design, but it's not Bahamut. He doesn't even use Mega Flare.
Oh no. Mad props to Ifrit with his parkour skills though.
Oh my god, yeah. I'll say that's like one of the most badass versions of Ifrit though, because most of the time he's one of the weakest summons in the game.
Oh yeah.
And here he's like practically the final boss.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, spoiler.
God damn it, guys! I was gonna play that right after. Actually, you guys have actually convinced me to play Final Fantasy 15 like immediately after this, just because I haven't played it and I've had it for years. That's just kind of like the problem I have, where I just keep buying more and more games and never play them. I've got like
one of the funny things about 15 too is just like the banter between all four of them. Like as you're just doing anything.
Oh yeah.
They just talk shit to each other so much the entire game. It's awesome. Like you can see how good friends they are.
Yeah.
And he also, not really a spoiler, but if you're just riding around on chocobos, the stop and go from the other 3 party members is just fucking hilarious.
I know, yeah.
Like, just watching Kane stream it, like, he'll be running around somewhere, and then you'll see, like, Ignis just blow past him, and then all of a sudden just hit the brakes on his chocobo and drop back. Like,
I love that chocobo theme song, too.
That's always a good one.
You can't go wrong with the chocobo theme.
Oh yeah.
Actually, speaking of themes, favorite OST?
Shit, I don't know if I could pick one.
Like,
I like all of them so much.
Like, which one? And we have to count the entire OST for a game as a whole. So, in essence, which Final Fantasy did you like the most songs from?
Final Fantasy X for me. With
for a minute.
Yeah, I'd say just overall Final Fantasy X. It's kind of hard for me to narrow it down to one song that's my favorite, but I mean, 2 Xanarkin's got to be up there for me. I mean, that's probably my favorite among the entire series, just because it brings me back to a time when I was like, I don't know, 10. I must have been 10, 12 years old, and I was having a hard time in school, and just that game is so nostalgic for me that just hearing the first riff of 2 Xanarkin on the piano, it just brings me back to a time in my life where that game was like all I had.
I can get behind that, yeah.
Yeah, 10 is a really good soundtrack. I could pick a favorite song.
Uh-oh. What's it?
Dancing Mad from 6. I love that song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can get behind that one.
It's like
a
really awesome, complex 4-piece song, 4-part song for the final boss. It's like super orchestral. And it's like, I think it's like I think it's actually the longest song in the Final Fantasy soundtracks.
Oh shit, is it?
The original version is like 17 minutes long.
Holy shit, Nuggets.
Because they play each section twice.
Oh, damn.
So it makes the song go for like 17 minutes.
God damn.
Yeah.
Another song I really love from Final Fantasy X is the Hymn of Faith. Da, 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 da.
Oh,
I can't really do it. I'm not a great singer, but
you got that voice, man.
But I'm okay at karaoke. I can't really reenact the Final Fantasy X Hymn of Faith, unfortunately. But it's just kind of locked in my memory as well. It brings me back to that time in my life. And that's nostalgia for
And
you.
10 has Otherworld too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Otherworld.
That's a badass song.
Hell yeah. Like, hearing that in the beginning, I was like, fuck yeah. Like, let's go.
Oh yeah.
It was funny. When I play Dissidia, the PSP ones, if Direct is in the fight at all, I have to play Otherworld. Like, I just have to. That's just his theme song for me.
I gotta say,
See, I never had a PSP, so I've never played Dissidia.
Oh, if you can like emulate it or something, I would say
Yeah.
play those PSP Dissidias. The story.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't even have to play the first one. Just play Duodecim because it actually has the first game story as well.
Okay. Is it told in like cinematics, the first story?
A little bit. It's actually a really solid story, I would say. Bailey, what were you gonna say for your OST?
I think mine's actually pretty closely tied between 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Because they're the top 2 for me, essentially, because most of the Final Fantasy songs I like are from 7 and 8. But I think as far as favorite song goes, God, the landing always sticks home with me. But if I go a different route, I don't know, I gotta say the Balam Garden theme. It's just a calming aura to me. Like, I hear that, and I just get the sense of, like, immediate safety.
Yeah. I think for calm songs, my favorite one is actually Edward's theme from 4.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's such a relaxing and calm song. I love listening to it every once in a while. And I love 15 soundtrack too. Like playing it, I remember how much I love that soundtrack.
Oh yeah, actually,
there was so much epic music in 15.
Yeah, I forgot how good some of them were until watching like some of your streams going through it.
Yeah, like even their main theme, Somnus. That's a really nice song too. Then, like the boss, like all the boss music is just super epic in 15.
Oh yeah, like I mean, you gotta have it be epic due to like how much of a grand scale some of those battles were in.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, like the scaling, that was one thing I liked about 15's final boss, but I won't go into that. Since Chris played it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you not spoiling it for me.
Yeah. Like, I like the way they handled the final boss compared to other Final Fantasies.
Now, I guess driving off of that, no, actually, we kind of covered that. I was gonna say favorite, like, Final Fantasy story.
No, actually, no, we haven't really talked about that.
Alright, so yeah, favorite Final Fantasy story. Like, what stuck out to you? Like, what had you gripped?
I think overall story, like, it's probably 6 for me. You know, 4 is like right there also, but I really like 6's overall story.
Feel it.
Yeah, because like, just the way they handle Kefka throughout the entire game.
Oh god, Kefka, that laugh.
They make and then his laugh, and I really like how they make all 12 of the there's 12 main characters, and they make they make all of them feel important. The game does.
Yeah. For me, it's Final Fantasy VII because it was the first time I really saw a game presented in that way with the pre-rendered backgrounds, with the polygonal graphics, even though they look hideous by today's standards. Just the world, that cyberpunk, grimy world, it just sends shivers down my spine whenever I just hear the soundtrack, whenever I think about playing that game again. I played it again last year, and it still brings me back to how much I loved it when I first played it.
Yeah.
I think, like, for some reason, like, a lot of people get behind that, like, steampunk kind of world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like just an appeal to it for a lot of people.
Yeah, just...
Yeah. And we're seeing cyberpunk again, even though I haven't played that because it's so buggy. Apparently, if you play it on the PS4 or the Xbox One, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah, yeah, we can do a whole rant about that shit.
Oh yeah, that'll be another podcast.
Yeah, even when
Casey
was playing it. But yeah, I watched Casey play it for like 10 minutes, and like someone got stuck in the wall, and like their legs were like freaking out.
Oh yeah.
It looks like they're doing like some sort of macabre dance. And I was just like, what's going on? And I think I actually clipped it. It's
oh yeah, you did.
Casey's clip. Yeah.
I'll probably throw that video up as a background.
There you
go. For this section.
But yeah, it's there, and the legs are just going all over the place.
I think
flexibility, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another thing I really liked about 6's story, but it's kind of a big spoiler.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know if I should go into it or not.
Like, it's...
I haven't played 6 in a long time, but you wouldn't be spoiling anything for me, maybe for people listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
But
so I'm sure I would imagine Casey might be listening to this.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm spoil 6 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. that would be a bad thing.
But no, I really like Kefka. Kefka was actually my favorite villain for a long time too.
He is a damn good one.
Oh, it's a great game.
And even still, he's still my second favorite villain now.
Now,
yeah,
for me,
his ass felt so good.
Oh yeah. I think. You probably already know the answer to this one.
It's a 12.
That's definitely 12. Like,
I hear some sarcasm there.
Maybe just a little bit.
No, it's actually it's 2. That's his favorite.
Yeah, love 2. No, I think 8 holds number 1. As far as story goes. And granted, a lot of people like won't really get the gist by the time you get to the end. Because I'll admit, it does seem like a whole bunch of confusing shit just thrown at you. Which, I mean, shit, I can mark a spoiler tag right now and go into like a 5-minute rant explaining every detail to the end of 8.
Okay, yeah.
But
we should do that one day.
Oh yeah. Oh god, we need to, because I'm tired of seeing all these fucking theories, and people are like, oh, well, here's how that's explained, and like, you know, that's why this theory is right. And I was like, fucking no, if you actually look at the game and read the goddamn dialogue. Like,
you motherfucker.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to be a Leon Highwind rants about 8 theories.
Like, you know, this is our podcast, but I'm just going to sit back in this one and let Leon take over.
Kane will do the introduction, and then that'll be it.
Yeah. Now we sitting out on this one.
I think Tactics is a pretty close second.
Yes, Tactics has such a good overall story.
Oh, it really does. Like, just the whole journey, seeing the development through, like, Ramza and, I'm probably gonna butcher this, but Delita?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, I just love
Yeah.
the whole overarching story to it.
Yeah, like seeing Ramza and Delita's paths, like it's just really awesome to see that.
Hmm.
It's like they want the same thing, but they go through it in such a different way.
Oh yeah.
And just like the overall story with like just all the political stuff that's going on in the church.
Oh yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
You know,
That was another thing that gripped me in it.
Yeah.
Like you do anything like that, and that kind of story really draws me in.
Yeah.
Which is why I would probably say 10 is a close third.
Okay.
Just due to the whole overarching story to Yevon and
Yeah.
the faith and all that.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know why, I'm a sucker for that shit. Like, you could give me the
Final
most
Fantasy
badass
VI.
story ever. Like, great action, like, good love interest, but leave, like, that type of stuff out. It's not, really gonna hit home for me. But you throw that in there, holy shit. I'm like, this is so controversial.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Like,
Yeah, let's do it. Do it.
6 for its sheer scope and cast of interesting characters. I mean, you have a freaking Yeti in your party. I mean,
Oh, we're 6? Yeah.
the deliciously, yeah, you have an amazingly over-the-top villain in Kefka. Just the fact that it was made in 1994 just blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's still a great looking and sounding game.
Yeah, it really is. Like people prefer how it used to look to how the Steam version looks, like a lot of people do.
Yeah, it's basically the mobile version, I believe. They cleaned up the sprites, they made everything non-blocky, but it's kind of lost some of the charm in essence.
It's I don't know, it's a little weird how they drew them, I guess.
Yeah. But the music is still fantastic. I believe the music is exactly the same.
6 has
the Super Nintendo version. And that has an amazing soundtrack, especially with what they were working with originally.
Yeah, when you asked about the soundtracks, that's one of the ones I would say is one of my top ones. Like, I don't know if I can pick a number 1, but that's up there.
Uh-huh.
It's because of Dancing Mad and then the opera song too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it had like digitized voice for, I think that was probably the first song that had actual digitized voice in there.
Yeah, it was definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And that kind of blew me away at the time when I was just, I don't know how old I was when I was playing it, but it blew my mind. Me and my buddy, we were having a sleepover, and we got the Yeti, and then we got to the opera scene in the same night, and it just takes me back to an amazing time in my life.
If you ever get to go to Distant Worlds and they play that song, it's a life-changing moment. Like hearing that song live is ridiculous.
Yeah, through like what, a 100-piece orchestra.
Yeah, and I'd like the song 10 times more after hearing it live.
Yeah, I can imagine. And they have scenes from the game playing as they're playing the soundtrack.
Yep.
Right? That's amazing.
Yep.
I got to go to that.
Yeah, I would highly recommend going to one of those concerts if you never went to one.
Yeah.
Whenever they start that up again.
I still need to go.
Yep. Any day now. Any day.
They need to do the Orlando one so you guys can come.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll come. I'll come to Orlando.
Oh yeah.
I'll cosplay as Squall.
Oh, just do a cosplay. There you go.
It's like everyone else is gonna be kind of dressed up, and then you see my ass coming in there dressed as Squall.
Oh no, people cosplay for it too.
Oh, do they? Okay, cool.
Dude, I saw there was one time I went. I saw there was like a 5-year-old cosplaying as Cloud.
Oh hell yeah!
It was awesome. I took a picture of it somewhere. It was just...
I'll shave my chest and come as Titus.
There you go. Do it.
There you go. Yeah, you need that baby smooth chest.
There too. At Disney Worlds. I think I've seen Squalls before.
I was gonna say if it
nice.
was still like okay, be kind of dressy. I was like, I could probably do the Seed uniform, you know.
Oh no, you can dress however the hell you want. You don't have to dress up for it.
Okay, good. Cool. Thought they
Or you
were
can cosplay. Oh, what the hell?
thought they were gonna be all like, somewhat fancy orchestra,
Oh no, they don't give a shit what you wear. You just wear whatever the hell you want.
Good.
So we lost Chris.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. Well, that's an abrupt ending for
All right, well, I guess we're done, guys.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there he is.
I was like, I guess we're done now.
I accidentally clicked on another Discord's voice channel. So
gotcha.
so it took me out. I'm still here.
Okay.
Sorry about
It
that.
was just like,
okay, I guess this is a good ending point.
like, goddamn, I guess he didn't like what we were saying. Like,
No. I just totally disconnected because I was moving my mouse around the screen kind of nonchalantly, and then I just accidentally clicked on another Discord's voice channel. So here I am. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, you guys don't dress up Distant Worlds. Fuck this, I'm out.
it's like, fuck you guys. Uncultured pieces of shit.
You uncultured swine.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well, shit. Alright, I guess one last thing we'll tag into, since we did favorite characters, stories, game overall.
And music.
Oh, yeah, and music. We haven't... Oh, and summons. We haven't touched on favorite villain of all time.
Well, mine is Caius from 13-2. Because he's amazing.
Is it bad that I don't remember him?
He's did you play 13-2?
I did.
Oh.
I did play it, so
Okay, well, he's a complete badass. He just, and he's immortal. So like he's pretty much unstoppable for the entire game. He's voiced by the same guy as Kane.
yeah.
As a bonus. And he actually has, to me, he has the most tragic backstory out of all the villains.
Yeah.
And like he has a really relatable motivation for what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's got to be Sephiroth. Because when you first meet him, he kills floors full of people in a skyscraper. Then he kills the president of the company. Okay, sorry, I'm kind of spoiling for people, but it's it's Final Fantasy VII. Who hasn't played it? Everybody knows the story of 7, so I'm not really spoiling it.
It's alright. I'll add in a boop in post production.
So Sephiroth is my runner-up for favorite villain. I'd say Kefka has got to be up at the top because he burns cities, he kills his own ally, he commits a freaking genocide, man. I mean, he's just an evil dude, and I could keep going, but then I'll completely ruin it for people who haven't played 6.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, my top 3 is actually Caius, Kefka, and then Arden from 15.
It's like Sephiroth comes across as like the evil dude, but I feel they do a good job to give like a backstory to it that kind of fits you to like, oh man, I kind of like feel for this guy. Like I can see why he's like this.
Yeah, I feel like Sephiroth is like the biggest overreaction in history for.
Oh yeah, it's
either
like
him or Kuja.
Find out you're adopted, like kill humanity. Like
Yeah, exactly. Like okay, that's one way to go about it.
God, it's hard for me. Like,
there's so many great ones.
Yeah, and my top 3, there's something they all have in common, but it's a spoiler for all 3 games to say what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's shit. I don't know if I can really choose. God, give me a second.
I say Cypher because you have the perfect voice for him.
Oh yeah, you like the Cypher voice?
Yes, exactly. Easy number 1.
The way I look at it, As long as you get out of a battle alive. Wait, dreams.
Wait, dreams.
I fucked that line up so hard. Oh god. God, I don't know. It's like I could pick from 8 again and choose either Adia, but she's not really like the true
the true villain.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
at the same time I can't really choose who the true villain is because it kind of lacks that draws you in relation as to why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't explain ultimate shit all that much.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I do like Sephiroth. He is up there. Just due to the fact that he is just this powerful guy. And you really get the sense of, okay, bad shit. But at the same time, they give you a backstory to it that kind of draws you in as to why he's like that.
Yeah.
Like 9, I can't get behind, like, Kuja and shit.
You can't get behind him?
No, I don't know why. It's like, as soon as I see Kuja's face, I'm just like, ugh.
I mean, my first exposure to Kuja was Dissidia, and like you remember his voice there?
Oh god.
Like, who the hell is this guy?
Is it like Resident Evil 1 levels of badness?
It's not bad. It's just like he's just very I don't know the word to describe it as.
I think I'm gonna have to go
like flamboyant and dramatic voice.
I can't really pick one where it's like just that overall sense of really bad villain, a good backstory to him and all that. So I'm gonna go on the opposite end of the spectrum and choose probably one of the worst villains ever due to how funny it is. And I would have to say Golbez.
Golbez?
Yeah.
Hey, Golbez is a good choice, actually, I would say.
Well, wait, is it Golbez I'm thinking of? I think it is. I think where it's like, when you first encounter him, it's like, oh man, he's going to be like really powerful. And then you just wipe the floor with him.
Yeah.
I don't think Golbez is like that, actually.
God, who is it I'm thinking of? I think it was Final Fantasy 2 with Firion?
Yeah, 2's with Firion.
It might have... Fuck, I don't know. I'm ruining my reputation as a Final Fantasy player right now because I can't think of this goddamn villain. But it was just a whole funny aspect because it's like every time you encounter them, it's like they're given the sense of like big powerful boss, and then it's just like so easy to defeat.
I mean that's Kefka for like the first half of the game.
That is also true.
Shit, who is like that besides him? Gilgamesh?
I think. Hold on, I'm doing a like Google search right now, just because I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Garland.
Garland, yes. Okay.
Garland's ass. He in all fairness, he wasn't like the boss, but still through most of the game.
By the end of the game.
I mean, yeah, that is a fair point to make. But it's, I don't know, just the whole sense of like he gives you this big speech of like, you can't stop me, I'm too powerful now, and then you bitch smack him and like what? Like
okay. Bye guy. To be fair though, the Dissidia games expand on Garland a lot more and he actually becomes a really awesome character.
That is a fair point.
And he's actually one of my favorite villains because of Dissidia.
I haven't played too much of the Dissidias. I really need to.
I haven't played any of them.
I would definitely say both of you play Dualism.
Okay.
That is the best story out of the Dissidia games.
Right on, right on.
And it has the story of the first Dissidia game. And then, because NT unfortunately doesn't have much of a story to go off of.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you could have picked Cloud of Darkness. Leon.
Oh fuck, Cloud of Darkness. I forgot all about that.
I mean, like, she only pops up at the very end of the game.
God, can I like give a massive like shout out to like the redesign for Cloud of Darkness from what was it, 3?
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, from 3.
Yeah, like going from 3 where she's just like this weird green
giant lady.
Yeah, and then like 14 made her into something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to see how she looks at 14. I kind of forgot.
Much more humanized.
She was like,
Like-
Oh,
just all like,
it's probably like how she looks in Dissidia then.
Oh yeah, like if you play Dissidia NT, that's pretty much it.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
see, I haven't played Final Fantasy 14, so I kind of missed out on that whole thing where she was reinvented.
Yeah. There's a lot of things reinvented in 14. Kefka's in 14.
He is.
Yeah, you can actually fight
I gotta play
Kefka.
it now. What?
And they have
Okay,
a whole Evilise thing too with tactics characters.
God, am I gonna have to play an MMO? I think I may have to.
I'm probably
Will you guys play with me?
Oh yeah.
I might probably get ready to start 14 soon. So
I am gonna have
Sure.
to like work around my schedule to where I can make 14 worth it again.
yeah,
yeah, that's understandable because they just take so much time.
Oh god, yeah. Like shit, I think back in the day I was playing that every day after work, actually. Like
Yep.
every now and then I would skip a day and like play something else or whatever. But hell, for the most part now I don't play a game unless I'm streaming for the most part. So
too.
like shit, I don't know, I can work in time on my off days.
Yeah, I feel like I'll be playing a lot 14 off stream when you start playing that again.
Well, you guys want to play with me?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
I'm trying to set it up so if you wanna hop in too.
As long
for sure.
as you don't
I definitely
mind
will.
me being your #1 gunbreaker tank.
I have no idea what that means, but sure.
It means he's gonna get smacked in the face and not let us
For me.
die. Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Take the hits
Thank
for you. Unless you're also a tank, then you also have to take hits in the face.
We can take hits together. Beat me, Daddy.
Yeah.
I think you.
I mean, what?
I thank you in advance, good sir.
What's that?
You're welcome.
I thank you in advance.
Yeah, Leon's gonna get smacked in the face so I can jump around like a fool.
Yeah, I just love being just smacked on. It's my thing. Every time we
Hey,
charge
man,
into
it's
a raid
wrong.
and the boss starts going ham, I'm like, oh yeah, beat me, Daddy.
we all have our kinks.
and is asked by a boss.
I do love like the memes for Dragoon in 14. Just the whole leaping to your death off the map.
Yeah,
Like,
that's part of the reason I want to play a Dragoon. So I'd be like, okay, they're not all idiots, okay?
gotta bring honor to the name.
Yes, bring honor to the name. Like, look, I actually know how to play this thing. You can jump without getting fucking killed.
Oh god, I'd have to brush up on my skills.
It is possible. Yeah, it's gonna be weird because I don't have as many keys in my keyboard while I was playing WoW.
Oh,
Oh,
So you have to like readjust that, and you can't really like mod the UI like you could in WoW.
when I like I got it for the PC. Since I was mainly playing it on from like the PS3 era to PS4, So I was completely adept to the controller layout.
Yeah.
But when I got it on PC and they gave me like that month free, like I went back in it just to try and like get the feel to it, and I was like, yeah, shit, I'm on PC, might as well try and work it like with the mouse and keyboard, so I have quicker options, like everything's easier to jump to, I can have the layout pretty good. I couldn't do it. Like, I don't know, it fucked with me so hard.
We're playing with a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I can make this really comfortable if I have both hands on the keyboard, and I can like quick select skills with like the right hand and whatnot, because it's kind of a bit of a jump like with the left hand. But then I'm like, okay, my hand's off the mouse, so if I have to like quick click on somebody to like change up what I'm doing, I can't do that, so I have to keep my hand on the mouse. But then it made it harder to get to abilities. So then I eventually defaulted back to controller, just because I knew that feeling. But at the same time, it made it hard to, like, say I'm playing as the Gunbreaker and I have an off tank, or like I'm the off tank and there's like the main tank and he's getting ready to get hit by a tank buster, so I wanted to use one of my protect abilities that I could on him to help mitigate damage. But trying to select your ally from who you're mainly targeting as the enemy to cast that skill is extremely difficult on a controller. I could never do it fast enough.
Yeah.
I'd always be like that guy casting the skill like immediately after the hit was taken. It's like, whoops, I tried. Like,
oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, I tanked a lot when I was in WoW. That was the main thing I did.
Oh yeah, I never played. 14 was my first MMO.
Yeah.
I think when I play Final Fantasy 14, I'm going to go with the healer, just because I love healing people. Like,
please do.
Yeah. And there's always a need for healers.
Always. Tanks and healers are always needed.
For sure.
So I will heal the fuck out of you guys.
Heal the fuck out of us.
Yeah, fucking heal me, daddy. I mean, what?
Yeah, Leon, you get smacked in the face. Chris is gonna heal you. I'll jump around and kill the boss.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't know, if I can work my combos really good, I can put out some sick DPS as a Gunbreaker.
Yeah. There you go.
But, I think right here we have to get a good stop point.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's a lot of fun talking with you guys.
Hell yeah, we appreciated having you.
Yeah, we appreciate having you. We'll have to do it again
I
sometime.
appreciate you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, next time. Until next time, I will say goodnight to you guys. I had a lot of fun, and thanks a lot for bringing me on.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
thanks.
yeah. And also try and convince Zach to try and work in some time for, like, Phasmophobia or, like, Resistance with us or something.
Yeah,
I know he likes being the mastermind, so I'll just be like, hey,
God.
you want to play as the mastermind? And I'm sure he'll join us.
Oh, yeah. He was very diabolical as the mastermind.
Oh, God. He has the
I can imagine.
mastermind, too. Makes it so much worse.
Oh, God. When we started doing the whole, like, he would mute.
Yeah.
And, like, so he couldn't hear us anymore, but we could still hear him. Like, just running around, we're talking to each other, like, working out a plan, and then out of nowhere, you just hear him, like, don't you run from me. Like,
oh, God.
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
It was very butthole puckering. Like,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
We'll kick in next time.
Yeah, until next time. Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, super appreciated having you, Chris.
I appreciate you bringing me on. All right, guys.
All right.
Have a
You
good
too.
night.
Good night.
Night, night, sir.